Alright guys, welcome to another Forex Killers update. I'm sorry about the audio. I know it's not great. I don't have a good microphone with my computer. But obviously the computer allows me to give you a much better overview, especially on the high time frames, than my phone. So hopefully you guys can handle it. I'm going to go over the pairs you can see at the top here. So SPX, gold and silver, DXY, euro, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, and EJ, and maybe one or two others if I feel so inclined. I'm going to go over the higher time frame to show the bias. It's very important to start at the top and work your way down. Well, let's just get straight into it. I'm going to aim for about half an hour on this video. We'll see how I go. You watching it can have a look at the timestamp and see how long I went, but that's my aim, so we'll see what we can do here. Alright, so the SPX, I'm looking at this. I'll just check my recording. Yeah, we're all good. So start of the monthly here, so never mind that. I thought I sorted this out. Sorry guys. Oopsies. So this chart doesn't have a lot on the monthly. Just come down, retested that sort of support area that we've made here, broke through it, and then we've come up and put in a bunch of wicks and sort of retested. So a bit in the middle, we've had this correction here, and we're still trying to determine whether we're going up for a bigger correction or we're rolling over, right, staying in this bear market. The weekly gives us a bit more. So we've got this sort of this bear market going down here, right? Lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low. That's your basic downtrend, right? In a bear market, that signifies that we have a downtrend, right? You can see I'll have these trend lines throughout all the time frames. They're really valuable, very easy to draw on the RSI, and they give you great indications before price moves. So I use them on all time frames, and the higher the time frame, the more significant and the more reliable the indicator is. You know, we've got a correction in here, right? We got the three waves. However you want to count it. You know, I do use a little bit of Elliott wave on the higher time frames because it is more reliable. The lower time frames, they mess around more, and you can get a lot of shenanigans and things that will throw you off, right? So, but you know, you can sort of get three here, and then you got a little flat here, and then we're sort of looking for another three going down, right? We might be getting something other than that, but that's sort of what I'm looking at the minute. So looking for this to be an SPF and rolling on over. We have, you see the break in the weekly here, the break of the weekly time frame TL trend line here, and you see it's on this candle here. So you see how far price is, and then when you're looking for your setups, you've got to start looking for your long setups now rather than your short setups. It's a very simple bias to have. So once you're broken out of that, you've got to be very careful of your shorts. Okay. Also with obviously the bounce off that support, monthly support, there was not a time to be shorting. So actually recall, I think it was back here, but it could have been through here. But writing this up and then shorting the top. No, that was. Yeah, that was back here. Yeah, so we shorted this down and traded that away. So you know, but didn't want to short until we'd broken this top, right, to get that higher high and get that SPF swing failure pattern to come down and make a lower low. Now, to break this trend, to break the downtrend, what you need is a high followed by a higher low, which we have, right, off support, and then followed by a higher high. So technically on the weekly we do have that, and that is something to be aware of when trading the SPX, because if once we have that, and we can keep pushing up, and then we can be looking for that 3-wave correction, right, to go higher, and then we need to reassess from there. But technically, once you've put in a higher low and then a higher high, unless you get a swing failure pattern, which we could get, then that has broken that downtrend. Not a lot to look at here. Not a significant trend line, but somewhat we have broken that weekly trend there, and we are still under it. So I'll go into lower time frames and show you what I think with the fact that we've broken this, and what we're looking at to either be biased to us breaking back above and starting to go up, or whether we're going to bearishly retest that and roll on down. So if you've been following my channel, I've been tracking this and basically waiting. We caught this bottom here back at 3,800. I didn't have my channel going at that time, but in the other discords that I'm in, I was after shorting the top here as a with that wick with the swing failure, shorting that top, getting that liquidity grab, and coming down. This put in like a rounded bottom, and it was pretty clear that we were going to move up, so expected that move up, which we got. So rode that up, put this bullish trend line in. We can get that bullish trend going, and basically we're looking to take the top, right? Now my target was again to take the top and sell off. So we hit the top and we sold off, and we've shorted this and done trades up and down throughout this region. So just had a bit of a channel drawn there, a rejection off that channel, also taking the high, getting that SPF, ran into the supply zone as well, and subsequently sold off. Now we had that big sell-off, we came down, we broke through the 3-day trend line, and a bit of shenanigans. We got a very manipulated market, so hard to get all the lower time frame setups, but we're originally looking for this to come down to this 39.70 level. All right, that 12-hour EL expansion line, looking at to come down and retest that, confluent with the bump and run here, and confluent with this bullish trend line. And if we go down to the daily, confluent with or very close to that 200 moving average on the daily. Now we broke through, we broke down, and I kind of stopped. The market kind of got me. I didn't pick the reversal down here. I thought it had broken out, kind of retested, and then started to sell off. So I kind of just stopped trading it, and I wasn't looking at DXY and other major pairs, and then we got that big move just at the end of the week just gone. So right now, what am I looking at? Well, it is a market maker move, a pretty classic one to break a trend like this, a price trend line, because a lot of traders look at that, and then burst back above it. So just going back to the monthly, just failing at this resistance, putting some wicks in, and then rolling on over. It was a big black candle. It was a big nasty looking black candle, and then they've just gone and reversed it. So a pretty classic market maker move. The reason that I didn't sort of expect that was because of DXY, but it's not always an inverse. Stocks don't have to run inversely to DXY, so you get a little bit bearish on it because you think your DXY is going up, but it doesn't always run that way. So they've sort of pulled a classic move there. Anyway, what am I looking at? So I'm looking at basically we're hitting the daily resistance here on the RSI trend line, right? Just broken through it. And the next level I'm expecting is 4063. All right, it's a former EL on the lower time frame. If we push straight up to 4063, then I can see a rejection and coming down. But if we push up and then correct and we don't sell off hard, then I'm looking for more upside, and I'm looking for this confirmed to have held support, held the bump and run, broken through trend lines, and held that 12-hour EL, and we're heading on up. And then I'll be looking at these higher targets up here, 1-to-1, and up. See what happens when we get to that correction. So moving up, doing bit of this nonsense, get up here, correction, and up, right? Something like that. Let's drop it down lower time frames. So again, with the trend lines, and again, I wasn't watching the SPX, which is unfortunate. Had an old level through here, 39.18, that it tagged perfectly. So that would have been good if I was on it. You couple that tag, and then you've got this candle here that had bursted straight through the 8-hour trend line, right, resistance. So once it came up here, and it was sitting at these levels for the correction. I think this is the last day. Yeah, it was the last day of trading. And then we just powered up through there and just pushed very high. So there's my level I'm watching, 40.63. I'm watching 40.63, see what price does there. And if we go straight up, looking for a big sort of sell-off. But if we just go up and then correct and stay above this trend line kind of thing, maybe a wick through, and then start going up, then I'm looking for it to move on up. And again, I'll be looking at those higher targets. 4 hour, 1 hour. So, if you're in the Discord, or even if you watch my other videos, we've got a lot of this stuff, right? We caught a lot of these moves, but this was the move that I was waiting for, and I was looking for it to push up from here. Unfortunately, we came back below 4,000, and that I thought, potentially we could have a correction in here, but it just didn't play out. We got that sell-off, moved back up, bit of a liquidity grab, and a move down to that level, that 200-day moving average, and now we're moving up off that. So looking at this level up here, and then seeing what the market does from there. So we'll just play it by ear, play it wave by wave, as we always do. But not a time to be shorting just yet. I would be looking for an entry, a sell setup at this level, and then watching what it does from there to see if we're going long or going short. All right, gold. Following gold for a long time. Traded a lot of these moves all the way back here. It's been going good. It's a good one. So this is some old TA down a long time ago, back when it was back here. I don't really trade candle patterns or things that like cup and handles and things like that, but there is a bit of a cup and handle, you could call it. So like that, and then we got the handle, and then we move up, right? So I've got that there. And then also the Elliott wave perspective there as well. So looking at, we broke down through this monthly trend line, and if you are in the Gym of All Trades Discord, you should check that out if you're not a part of that. But in the Gym of All Trades Discord, I spoke about this trend line breaking, and that we were going to get the sell-off, and the target I was looking for was here at 1569. We didn't quite get that, but what did we get? I think we may have come just shy of the 1-to-1 from memory, or we may have tagged it. I'm not sure. What do we got? No, we did tag it, so I was probably looking for the 127. So we tagged the 1-to-1. I was looking for the 127, confident with that retest. We didn't quite get it, so that was unfortunate, but that can happen in the market. And I was looking at that for long-term kind of buys. But you see the big hidden bull there, right, with that 3-wave correction, and then we moved up. Sorry, I'm not too enthusiastic, guys. I've just got to be quiet, so I'm not really getting right into it as I should be. But you see that, caught the DXY here, caught the low at 1680, caught it again, and then caught it for a third time. So some great trades were had, and then the sells throughout here. Traded gold, up here and took a couple of shorts that didn't end up playing out, got stopped out. But then we, if you look at my video on this channel, with gold and silver, caught the short here and rode big shorts down. So that was great so far. And you see here on the weekly the break right well before price really dumps, you get the break of the RSI, okay, and then you've got a not so much a bearish retest there, but still didn't break back above, and more of a sell-off. Down to the 3-day, you see along here we have that channel going, and just using this channel as a guide to staying the longs throughout this region and to ride this up. So it works really well. Something to adapt into your trading if you don't, especially on those high time frames. You got the daily. Again, just showing you these time frames, the different trend lines I've got going. So we have that break. You see the break here, and then you see that retest there. And we caught the long from here to take the top and then sell. Alright, more trend lines available. I'll go down to some lower time frames now. So yeah, I don't know if I've deleted all my old TA or not. But we have the old expansion line going through here. So I called the top here and rode it all the way down to our box. Went up and then called this correction in here for the top, and then called the sell here. Alright, so very good action on gold there. Just been riding corrections down and taking sells, taking buys through this region. But the final sells, they got a former something going on here, former level that I've drawn, which I should always keep an eye on, keep looking at. But you see on the 2-hour here, posted in the Discord about taking the long. We held that 2-hour through here, retested the EL here, and then took a long on the breakout at 38. Ended up getting stopped out. Shouldn't have really. I should have left it because I just stopped out for break even. But it was Asian session. I don't really trade Asia, so I let that one go. Look, gold. I did speak about gold and silver having a big so silver particularly coming down to investment level buys, and I said gold potentially can go lower, and I mean gold and silver can both correct down again, obviously, but right now, seeing where this is going, looking like we've got a bit of a expansion leg going on here, somewhere up this way, for maybe another sell-off to retest and then up, or potentially coming down to those lower levels. well, so just running through that, we've got that EL going on here, got a lot of expansion legs, and then here's your retest here, and you got that retest, and then you couple that with the 2 hour RSI hold. All right, after that retest, so we held it through here, and then you've got that retest on the lower time frame EL, and then you're confident in taking your buy to those higher levels. This was news in New York. Big wick down, didn't get the liquidity grab, just came shy, and then trended on up again. Nice big 3-wave move there with some hidden bull, some big hidden bull there. So gold, what was I expecting? Yeah, sort of a nice, nice retest off this level. We broke through that support there, bearishly retested it, came down, did all this, came up. You see the wicks, right? Big fight to get through that level, broke through, charged up, hit the higher supply zone, sold off, tagged the 382, and retested that level, and currently has flipped it to support. So that was that 1807 level that I was looking at. So we've currently flipped that to support. There's another trend line on your 3-day, right? Had that break off, confirmation you were getting more of a sell-off. All right, again back on this candle, it was broken, and then we just sold off down through. All right, so gold currently looking bullish with that retest, flipped as to support. So at the minute, looking for correction and buy setups. Silver, So I've had this move going for some time. What can I do here? I'll take this one to a smaller time frame. So we got the correction through here, right? The 3 waves, right? Called this low here on silver, right? Monthly breakout retest, tag that with the B wave, okay? And so this was back in the Gym of All Trades Discord. 618 golden zone tag retest. So retest, golden zone, and we got the 1-to-1 fib extension of the correction. So that was a pretty good indication that was a buy, and that's been a great buy. And then we ran into that supply zone through here. And then if you check my video, I spoke about the sell coming, the sell on silver, with all these wicks going into the supply zone, and it was looking like we needed that correction. So I'll break it down. What do we got in the 3-day? Yeah, so 3-day, we were following this RSI trend line, RSI retesting here, retest, RSI getting tight, and then we broke out of it. So we broke out of it back here, you see. So we were just looking for this to sell off. It was a matter of time before it was going to sell off. And then we got that one final wick to take liquidity, and then we sold off. So we sold off. You chuck the fib retracement on. We've tagged at 50. I put out a video saying, take profits on the short should have taken some profits here, and I said our next take profit was under this low, right? We're retesting that breakout, right? Because we have this resistance here. We retested, we moved up, come back down, flipped that, held that support rather. All right, so we've held that support there. That shouldn't be on this time frame. Give me a second. All right, so I was looking for it to get to 20.38. We just missed it. We got to 20.42. But it was, I said, you know, silver investment level buys on the table. So rode that long up, didn't catch where I wanted. I got in at about, I'll show you on the lower time frames. But you know, you see the hidden bull there, daily, again just on that short. You see the daily breaking the trend line here, and you see the retest here. So here's the bearish retest on this high wick here, okay. And then that's why that was a liquidity grab. RSI had set the downtrend, and that was a liquidity grab, and then we sold off. All right, we put in some bullish, hidden bullish diversions with that 3-day breakout retest, that monthly support level, and you know, just sitting on that 200 daily moving average as well, and looking like to hold that. So when we break it down to the lower time frames for entries, see what we've got here. Breaking the 8-hour trend now. It's not the best trend line, it's a bit flat, but breaking through that. 4-hour. You can draw that trend line, get that one going. I'll show you the entry. So we got that move down off the EL through here. We'll go down here. All right. So here's our 3-phase market setup. Right, we've got this bearish retest, sell off. Didn't quite get to that level I wanted at 3.8, but very close. Once that came, it didn't tag it, and then we put in this running correction. I got in here, okay, at 20.52. So we got in there on that running correction, running flat, rode that up, took profit on this wick here at 20.99 or thereabouts. We had that pump up. I didn't catch that long. That was during Asia, so I don't trade Asia. Didn't catch that long. Sold through here, rode that short down, and you see where it landed. All right, on that former EL. So it's retested that former EL expansion line. Market does that a lot. Tends to do that a lot. It's one of the things you see me put up all the time, and so that is a good sign that you know, that's a corrective wave in here, finished, and we're moving into the upside. So silver broken the high, looking for corrections, looking for more upside basically. It's looking good. It's looking good. We'll track it. We'll see what goes on. But higher targets up and away. DXY. I think I'm going a little long on this video, guys. I think I might finish on DXY. Do a majors one another time. So monthly on DXY. Here we go. So we have this range. This range here on DXY back from 2015, and you see the liquidity and demand down here. We didn't take that liquidity, but hit that demand and moved up, and we've broken out of the range. Right, had that 5-wave impulse that I've counted. That's the 5 waves I've counted, and then we've come down and bullishly retested the top of that range, and the monthly RSI. So again, if you look at the monthly RSI trend line, we broke out on this candle down here at 94, but depending on where we go. Now it's probably started breaking here, and then this one was a clear break. Okay, so yeah, so somewhere around this region, that was a break, and there again is your sign to follow the trend and ride it long. Okay, and then you're riding it to at least these highs here, and then the next level of these highs, we broke out. We obviously came down on that candle back into the range, and then popped up and kept going. So yeah, simple TA going on there, but keeping it simple I find works best. We have come down. We have retested, bullishly retested that trend line, bullishly retested the range, and if you've been following my channel, we caught DXY at the very bottom, and we caught euro dollar at the very top to the pip, I might add. So you know, simple TA, but just knowing your targets and knowing your lower time frame setups. You look at the weekly trend. You know, weekly trend again, just tagging it here, breaking through, little fake out on that fourth wave, right? And then we held it up, and then we broke on down. Now again, just wanted to emphasize this. You look at where the break is on the candle, right? So this candle has broken the trend. Now again, this candle did that, and that was a fake out. You had a deep wick, took the liquidity down here, and then it's moved on up, right? But this candle broke, right, and then the next candle broke and closed. You have this candle, that's like a inverted hammer or whatever the hell they call it, a doji, some sort of doji. I don't trade candlestick patterns, but you can see how that went up and took the liquidity of this candle and then sold off. But RSI again had already well and truly broken that trend. So when you get that, and I think that there was a smaller range on the small time frame, a bit of a range through here, and it just couldn't break back in and go. So that was the big sell. All right, you see here we got some big hidden bullish divergence as well, right? You oversold down here, right down here. Okay, so full RSI reset, and price retesting that range. So that's why I'm quite bullish on DXY at the minute, just from a technical standpoint. But you know, we have to see how it plays, play it wave by wave. Yeah, so there was that range that I had going on that smaller time frame. So this was the candle that kind of broke back in but failed. You know, 3-day again, breaking out. But this is where, you know, you've got to know your lower time frame setups, because you see the 3-day has broken, right? You get a big wick up here, but that was actually an expansion phase through here. So on the small time frame, there'd be the setup that we did. And that's a big leg high, take liquidity, sell on down. So we've broken through that, and then we've moved on up. And again, if you've been following, you know, we had the target down here at 100.8, okay, which was my target, and I think we got down to, what did we get down to? 100.820. So bang on it. Daily again, you know, you got to watch these trend lines. We've broken out, taken the liquidity, you know, put in some hidden bearish divergence, and then rolled on over. So not a be all end all. You got to know your high time frame setups and what levels you got to reach before you're looking for that reversal. But you know, you obviously got a very decent move with that break anyway, without breaking this low or coming very close. Bit of a double bottom, market maker setup, take the high and then take out those lows. Uh, 12-hour we've broken the 12-hour RSI trend, but no no bearish divergence, just some hidden bearish divergence, but no bearish divergence on the last few peaks. So looking for this to correct some and go up. Let's go down to some lower time frames. Oh, why have I got two of them there? Get rid of one of them. So yeah, there's your, on those candles I was showing you before on the higher time frame, there's your three-phase market setup. Alright, big expansion leg, retest, high, take out liquidity, or it took out all liquidity, didn't quite get that, and then it sold off. Alright, that's our classic setup that we use a lot in Forex killers. Alright, so looking at this, give me 1 sec, I'm just going to have a little drink. Looking at this, what we've got is we tagged that level, right? And here we've got our first impulse off the bottom. Now here we've got a correction, right? Three-wave correction. And then we started moving up again, right? Looking for that next target, 1 to 1. Right, that's where I'm looking, 1 to 1, 127. Now, we can either, what the market will do, you can get pullbacks or you can get corrections. So, and pullbacks can be impulsive, all right? So, what's a pullback and what's a correction? Well, this is the pullback here, all right? And this is a correction. So, our corrections can be, a pullback can just be one impulse and then you just keep on climbing. Corrections are 3 waves. It can be, just a simple 3-wave correction, as in like that, or, and again, what do we got here? A 3-wave correction, or we can double up the correction, right? And even triple up the correction. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? Double correction, DXY, and you can even go another X and another Y, right? WXYZ. So I'm looking at what we're getting now. DXY has to hold and bounce at the start of this week and go up, or are we looking at the deeper correction? Now, I'm going down the lower time frame on this. I am looking for those higher levels. So again, this was in the Discord. We caught. So this, I wanted this to tag here. It didn't quite reach it, but we got that expanded flat there. We got the sell-off, and then caught this retest down here for the move up. All right. Again, posting this stuff in the Discord. We got again this back here. All right, this wave action back here. I drew this here. We went up, tagged that level, came down, corrected to that level, and then we moved on up, right? So it's just knowing the market, knowing how it moves, and just being able to predict what levels they're going to go to, and then retest and tag, etc. Now, after we came up here, took out that top, sell off, right? You got a bunch of sellers in here. Then you've got those people holding the sells. So what do? They take it up, take out that top, get rid of those sellers, and then bring it on down. Now, what do we have here? This is our next level. This is what we're watching at the moment, right? So this is what we were watching through the last session last week. All right, we're looking to hold this level here, 104,656. We went up, came down, retested this smaller EL here, went up, but then we've subsequently sold off, right? So a bit of market making shenanigans, it can happen. You just got to be able to deal with it. If you were in a long, let's say you took a long on the retest, or you took a long down here, your signal to exit was, this bearish retest here. All right, so that was your signal to exit. Now, what could we have coming? Well, does it mean it's over? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean it's over. So I am, again, I'm looking at this as a potential leg low, expansion leg low. With how stocks are looking, with how the commodities, gold and silver, are looking, it's hard to be bullish on DXY. But in saying that, XAU and XAG and SPX can go up while DXY corrects and moves around in a sideways fashion, or even trends up. Gold and silver can definitely do that, done that in the past. So it's not the same as sort of EU and GU and maybe AU and NU, right? They're not as inversely correlated. So potentially looking at this as an expansion leg low. Now this has to kind of hold, right? So anything we do from here, if it goes down and takes it and then starts moving back up, then I'm happy, okay? And we can get on moving on up, and then we just play it wave by wave once again. But if it goes up a bit, like this, and then starts selling, then it's going to go down for mine, all right? And then I'll be I won't be trading it long, and I'll be expecting the more downside. What sort of downside? Well, we gotta look at this being another correction. So is it three waves in here? Then this is its own three wave, and then we're getting three waves down, taking out that low, taking out that liquidity, retesting this 103.750 level. All right, chuck our fibs on that three wave move. All right, taking out this liquidity, potentially even this liquidity here. All right, and then start trending back up. And again, when we're looking, once we get to that level, we need to look at the high time frames, right? We need to look at the 3-day, the weekly, look at those trend lines on the RSI and see if we've broken them, see if we held the bullish retest, etc. Before we think about going along and writing this on up. And where am I expecting it to go? If we keep trending up, I am expecting whether we do that, come down and then go up, or if we just go up from here. I'm looking at these levels up here, right? 106 area. I've got my target somewhere. Some time frame I've got them. Yeah, 106, 179 there. All right. Take out these two tops, head up there, bit of supply through there, and the form EL, and in between the 1-to-1 and the 127. So I'm looking at going there, and then we can get that bigger correction going on, whatever that may present like. All right. Again, just another indicator. There's another sort of RSI example of that break and bullish retest. So we don't always get it right. So broken, bullishly retested, come up, and then broken down. Okay, so a good trade to be had, no doubt, right? If you caught that, but doesn't always result in continuation of the trend. Look, I think that'll do. I think I've gone over time, and I'm not going to go into the majors, but those majors, they've all got correlated to DXY, so trade accordingly to them. I'm going to keep the updates going regularly in the Discord, and keep the charts flowing in there, and my bias, and I'll try to get a video out on those majors when I can, but again, I'm working on the high time frames, so not too bad if I leave it another week. Anyway, look, do me a favor, guys. Really appreciate, I know it's a bit of a slacker video in terms of my energy. It's a bit late here in Australia, and just being quiet and that, but a bit of noise outside. I wonder who that is. But yeah, just throw me a comment, and comment and a like, and maybe share it with someone if you know they trade any of these pairs or commodities or SPX or anything like that. Really appreciate it. All right, cheers.